Goldstone published an article in the Washington Times where he expresses his regrets on the tone and the conclusion of the report. Then when he was asked if he will act in order to correct the mistaken conclusions, he says no, he regrets this article. I think it's a little bit too many regrets. You cannot regret the fact that you were wrong, and I regret the fact that you said you were wrong. For us, it's not an exercise in juridical experience. We here people are used about libels, and to this very day, libels that didn't have a foundation remain alive, like the protocol of the elder of science. We want to make clear, now we don't do the investigations just to answer foreign calls. We do it because our people and our government wants an army that has values, not only rifles. And we wouldn't like to see one of our soldiers shooting at an innocent person. And we did it from the very first day of the establishment of Israel, when we have had to go through 7 wars in 63 years. No other nation did it. And short of arms and short of men and short of support. We want a strong army, but strong morally, not only militarily. Yes, please.
Mr. President, are you really comparing the Goldstone report to the protocols of the elders of Zion? Because Mr. Goldstone seems to be saying that had Israel participated from the very beginning when the UN asked them, it would have been a different report. How can Israel complain about a report that it didn't participate in?
There is no need for. Doesn't Mr. Goldstein know that the Hamas started to shoot missiles for no reason? What is there a secret? He doesn't have to have, he doesn't have to have any report. Whoever reads a paper knows that we left Gaza willingly, that we said we are not going to return, and they started shooting and nobody can explain why and what for. So this is not a matter of jurisdiction or details, it's a clear situation. And that should have been the basis upon which the report should have been founded.
Hamas does explain why.
Pardon?
Hamas does explain why.
What is the why?
Because they feel in 1948 that Israel took land from them. That's the reason.
Who killed? Only when we went, we were forced to defend. We left Gaza with shooting? We left Gaza with killing? What are you talking about? This is also, excuse me, you shouldn't fall victim to it. The situation is, what don't you believe?
What Hamas is saying, I'm not saying I believe them, I'm just telling you what
So
they
if you
say.
don't believe, why do you offend them?
I'm not
You must be
defending
clear.
them.
Look,
I'm not defending
excuse
them.
me,
Nobody
I
can
can't
explain.
understand your logic. The facts are clear, and there is no way to put a fog on them. Israel left Gaza unilaterally. It was a difficult decision for the government. We have had to mobilize 75,000 policemen to implement it. We have had to pay $2.5 billion to our settlers. We left. Why are they shooting? That's the basic problem.
The United Nations says that Gaza is still under occupation.
I'm sorry, you're going to ask a question.
Gaza is still under occupation according to the United Nations.
What is that?
Gaza is still under occupation under the United Nations rules.
Huh?
This is what the Secretary General says.
So I didn't hear it from him, by the way. I hear it from you.
While
How can
other
they be
reports
occupied
speak,
without occupiers?
because you control all the crossings.
When we left Gaza, Gaza was completely open. And Israel invested in Gaza to create a modern agriculture. And it is our wish today that the people in Gaza will not suffer and will have a normal and happy life. Look, don't misinterpret it wrongly.
Happy life without houses.
No, with houses, if they will use the cement to build houses and not tunnels. Look, you must also be clear. The minute they'll use the cement to build houses, no problem. The minute they'll use the money to satisfy their children, no problem. But if they'll use it to buy rockets and missiles and shoot them at us, what do you expect us to be neutral?
Even paper?